is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stardom Review, a bi-weekly show where we talk about Stardom, which is Japan's all-female wrestling company. I'm your Melball. That is your Andre. Andre, how we doing this week?
I am doing great. I've been watching some incredible wrestling this last while. I've been watching some great New Japan, some great AEW, but most of all, I've been watching some wonderful, wonderful Stardom.
Absolutely. And just before we get into it, Stardom Review today is sponsored by Rogue Energy Drinks. If you want to scan that QR code down there, you can go to the Rogue affiliates. We do have a promo code OLEPODS. You can get 10% off of your order. That being said, Andre, let's get into this because this Stardom tournament has been utterly incredible. To go from the 5-star Grand Prix, now going into the IWGP World Women's Championship. What an incredible bunch of women they got together for us to compete for this.
Before we get into the matches specifically, let's go over who's in this tournament.
Absolutely,
So you have over on, because you have two different brackets. You have the Stardom bracket, you have the international bracket. So in the Stardom bracket, you have Utami Hayashishita, former Stardom champion, Himeka, who's been just an amazing rise this year, this last little while. You have Mayu Iwatani, who former ROH Women of Honor champion. So she has international pedigrees there, and I'm not sure the championships won in Stardom. I haven't researched a lot of them yet. I'm still a young fan for this company. And Momo Watanabe, the leader of Oedo Tai. I'm pretty sure she's the leader. But yeah, it's. I think you have some great people in the Stardom bracket. Of those four, do you think anybody shouldn't be here, or somebody else should be instead of them?
Not at all, actually. With myself, I mean, we also have gone into this era where Oedo Tai has become like the House of Torture. So seeing them a little bit more is kind of, I wouldn't say a detriment to the show, but it certainly it gives the same feel to the Stardom shows that the House of Torture gives to the NJPW shows. I feel honestly with Oedo Tai, I feel like Starlight Kid would be more of a leader than Momo because she is the most recent person, and freaking Starlight
Kid. But again, I don't. It's not about their leaders because Julia's not in this. You got to remember, she's not representing Donna Del Mundo.
Correct, she lost.
She's going after the Stardom Championship in the end of the year. So, yeah, you've got to. And then the international side. That's the one that's been the really interesting side, is that you have the alpha female, Jazzy Gabert, the second ever Stardom Women's Champion in this tournament, which is a huge, huge plus to bring. And she's back with Stardom, part of the Neo Stardom Army too. So it's not just she's back for this tournament, she's back to Stardom, which is huge. And then you have Ava White, who's going to be her opponent in the first round, who again, she as we were listening to Chris Charlton speak on it, she's very young in her career, only about 2-3 years along, but she's I think she's very good. I could see some things as we'll get into the match that she might have problems with, but I think really, and then the winner of their match will face Kairi, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, NXT Women's Champion,
Stardom legend in her own right.
Stardom World Champion, I think Stardom Wonder Champion, Stardom Tag Team Champion, Stardom Artist Champion.
Don't think there's a lot of belts that she hasn't held in Stardom.
No, and she's held in she deserves to be. Yes, I know she has returned to Stardom, but being in the international bracket makes sense because she is more of an international star at this point from her time with WWE and NXT. It makes 100% sense. I think this is like a wonderful, wonderful tournament to really, really bring women's wrestling to the New Japan fan.
Absolutely.
I think again, these matches are airing on Stardom. A lot of these matches, first bunch of matches, but the finals are taking place at the crossover show, at Historic Crossover, as I like to call it, Historic X-Over, as they named it. And there's going to be a women's title match at Wrestle Kingdom. They're going to have they're going to start putting more of the women's title matches on regular cards going forward. So, I have my pick to win this, but we'll get to that once we get to once we get there. But to start it all off, we have from the Royal Quest show on October 2nd. We didn't get to watch this until only a few days before the rest of the matches were happening because it took forever to drop the Royal Quest show on New Japan World. Oh boy, Jazzy Gabert, the alpha female, taking on Ava White.
What a match. I honestly I didn't even realize just because of how dramatically she changes her look. I had to like look at the history of her and realize that I thought I didn't know who Jazzy Gabert was, but I did.
Yeah.
What an incredible, experienced powerhouse of a wrestler. She has those thick powerlifting legs. She has that thick upper body, but then she has that like very tapered, very small waist on her. Such an incredible build, but just the experience that she brings into that ring. She did so well, and she's literally like an Amazon with a mohawk to me.
Dude,
like that
if
is
they were
just
second round match,
incredible.
it's an even bigger size difference. But and Ava White is not a small girl. Like she's
No.
got she's pretty tall. She's got that good kind of like she's got that thickness. Like she's got the you can see the muscle tone on her. She's that good kind of thickness, and she like Jazzy made her seem small, which is weird because Ava is not a small person, and she was made to look small by Jazzy. Jazzy is just that big. But this match I thought was just phenomenal. Like Ava's kicks. Let's go right to her kicks. Like that's her main like her number one part. Like Roddy Strong is the backbreakers. Ava White, she's the kicks, man. Like she can kick you from any angle. Like her hook kicks. Whoa. When
Those
she
are
did a
good, yeah.
Marufuji hook kick, I was like, what? I was just like, yes.
That was
I was
almost
very
Will
impressed.
Ospreay level good.
Yeah, like but yeah, she did the Ospreay Marufuji hook kick, and I was like, wow, that actually looked really, really good. It's her kicks are phenomenal. Like, and then like Ava got really good, actually cool. No, sorry, Jazzy got a cool like Anaconda Vice submission.
Yes, I noted that also. Yeah.
Yeah, CM Punk's old finisher. She got it
Yeah.
on Ava, but Ava did get the road. It was just, I'm like, I haven't seen that move in so long. Like, other than like, I think I saw Punk do it a couple times in his AW run, but like, I was like, I haven't seen that regularly used in a long time. I'm like, oh, I really like that. But yeah, and then like, Jazzy ended up getting the Romero special, that surfboard, and then she transitioned, brought it down into like when you grab under the chin, you pull back. Oh, I love that
I
when
feel
people do
like
that.
commentary called it an Akamura special. That's what I
Romero.
wrote down.
He called it Romero.
Why did I
could
hear
have swore he
Akamura?
called it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty. I've heard Riccaboni call that move, and he calls it a Romero special. So or not Riccaboni, Charlton. But yeah, I could have swore he called it a Romero special, but because that's what I wrote down was a Romero special, and then I put in parentheses surfboard because that's what I heard off his commentary from Romero special. So that's what I wrote. But again, like the power advantage that Jazzy had in this match was crazy.
I have to agree. What I do have to disagree, going back to a little bit back into the topic matter though, is Ava's kicks. As powerful as they are, I would have to say that based on her kicks, it showed her lack of experience. They were a little slow. I feel that was a size thing, though. The same kind of problem that I had with Hikuleo. You remember I was saying he almost didn't seem to know how to use his legs. She's figured out how to use her legs. She's just got to figure out how to speed it up just a little bit. It was just a tiny bit slow for me, but otherwise, I have to agree. This match was a very, very good, heavy hitting match for both of these women, and Jazzy really did quite dominate in this match while still giving Ava the opportunity to still come out looking like she deserved that championship too.
And like I'll say this, Ava really went for those axe kicks a lot. She really likes the axe kick. I'll say that. But and then she ended up hitting a Gotch style pile driver.
Yeah.
But Jazzy literally landed on her head.
Yeah.
Like she picked her up into it, and then it almost like Jazzy slipped out.
I thought
she
that too.
Just fell and landed on her head. It looked. I was scared for a second, going, "Oh, dude, is I was scared for Jazzy for a second, but then she just got up and moved, and she was okay.
Yeah, she started kicking pretty quick.
And then the ending came very fast after that, where Jazzy ended up hitting what Chris Charlton called the Inoki Plex. But to a lot of American audiences know it as the Regal Plex. And she got the 3 count and got the win. But wow, I will say this: I saw some greenness in Ava, and again, she started wrestling just before COVID happened, so she did get really limited in a lot of her training in her early experience. But for where she's at, I think she did really well in this match, and it was a great starting match for this tournament.
I have to agree.
So from here, we are going to go on to the next match of the tournament, and this happened on October 22nd, and it is Utami Hayashishita, the former World of Stardom champion, taking on Himeka in the first round of the Stardom block. Mel, I'll let you on this one.
I mean, I have to say that my favorite active female wrestler in the world right now is Utami Hayashishita, just simply based on how great she is. This match was like 2 giants just smacking each other. To have them take it right out the ring, right out the gate, trying to get that count out on each other. And they almost got it a couple times, fighting on the outside there. There was a certain moment where, these girls are actually like both Utami and Himeka are actually fairly similarly heighted. They're a lot taller than I would say most of the women in Stardom are. There was one point where Utami
Himeka for sure.
Yeah, the Jumbo Princess for a reason, right? There was one point where Utami actually had to muscle Himeka up from her. I think it was she came out of a reversal and got her into her stalling German and really had to muscle her over there to get that.
That deadlift German is great.
Incredible. And it really shows, like, I mean, Utami, you can see from the picture, she does not look like she is, a muscly girl, but to be able to just whip around someone like Himeka, I mean, that's power right there. And that's something Utami, I just feel really has. There was also one point where she kind of, Utami did this like judo toss, but it was almost like a neck toss into a sleeper hold that I just felt was so well done. Himeka sold that so well. She had her in that choke for quite some time also, and Himeka struggled quite a bit to get out of it.
Oh, it was a rear naked choke, like reversed the power bomb and flipped over. Hit like a German. I think she hit a German and then went into it. I'm even thinking of a different spot, but she reversed the power bomb, hit a German, and then from the German transitioned right into the rear naked.
I think choke. Yeah.
That's where I saw it. I was just like, wow, like just going for the German and then flipping in and grabbing the choke. I was like, oh, that's great.
Now this is where Melball gets salty, and that's when it came to the end of the match, where Utami was getting ready to set up her finisher, which, in case anyone doesn't know from us raving about it in the past, it is a spinning razor's edge. Himeka managing to do the spinning razor's edge on Utami, beat her with her own finisher. I died a little.
Oh, Utami won that.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No, sorry.
Did you read that?
I went to the wrong match. Forget that I even said that. Forget it. Utami won this match. I moved on to the wrong match. I'm sorry, guys.
I know what you're talking about.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, okay, sorry. So, spinning razor's edge, Utami actually did pick up the win over Himeka.
The hijack bomb,
Maybe it was.
You're thinking of the.
We'll talk about that later.
But she won it with the hijack bomb. I love that spinning razor's edge she does. I think that spinning release edge. I love it. I love it so much. There's one spot in the part where Himeka actually hit a rainmaker, and I've seen her do this multiple times now. And in her tournament matches, she likes doing the rainmaker, and I love it. She just doesn't.
Tell me you pop like I do when you do when she does it.
Every time I go, she hits it. I'm like rainmaker. I'm like yes. I love it. I love it so much. Like, honestly, both these girls had such a phenomenal. Sorry, both these ladies had such a phenomenal match, and like like Mel got to pretty much all the big spots in it, and I really liked everything, and I'm always impressed when Utami does a air raid crash because it just looks so good, so good.
She's just that good.
She really is, isn't she? Yeah. So we're gonna. And so Tommy Hayashishita does move on. I don't know how Mel thought it was a mecha, but she's crazy. But and then move on to the other match.
Princess getting on me.
The other match in the opening round of the Stardom block is Mayu Iwatani taking on Momo Watanabe. Now, again, I haven't been a huge fan of Momo Watanabe because of her House of Torture like antics. She got
shenanigans.
But I really liked her in this match because there wasn't a lot of shenanigans outside of a couple things at the end. So that's where it was like, but honestly, overall, this was actually one of the cool, better matches I've seen. Really good matches I've seen really good matches from Momo in the tournament and everything else. But I thought really enjoyed this one. These two had such a good time, and I had such a good time watching this match. Like the buzzsaw kicks from both these ladies, like just kicking each other in the head. There's one point where I don't think she had the wrench in her shin pad this time, and she hit Momo hit a razors or hit the buzzsaw kick, and then did the up kick to the face. Oh, like I'm sorry, like I get it that the up kick to the face, it's the spot, but like there's a reason WWE banned using that move. They took it away from Randy Orton because he legitimately gave a couple people concussions by doing it. That's a huge risk with doing an up kick to somebody's face is you risk literally up kicking them in the face and knocking them out and hurting them and putting them on the shelf for a while. So like I don't care for the move, and especially when you put a wrench in there. Just I know it's not padding, but it's still way more solid. But Mel, your thoughts?
I mean, I have to agree. This was the best Momo has looked in some time since joining Oedo Tai. With her, there was that one spot where she had the bat outside the ring, and
that was really early. Like that's my third line on my notes.
That was the first point where I was like, "This is no longer a wrestling match."
But the thing is, they did that. They started fighting. Then Mayu ended up getting her suicide dive not too long after that, and it went back to being a wrestling match for a good few minutes there,
very long
until
time,
the stuff
which was
at the
surprising.
End.
But I forget her name. I left my notes downstairs for it. The true leader of Oedo Tai, who is the lady with the crazy hair and teardrop things, who will be challenging Utami. We saw at the end of the Grand Prix there.
Oh, the one that you knew. But
Tora, I think is her name.
Tora. I don't remember.
I want to say Nakashima Tora. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check on her name. But yeah, I did see there was a couple points where she started to get into it, for example, with Saida and I think it was Momo Kogo that was at ringside there also.
Yeah, I know Saida was out there because she got involved after the match. But there was actually couple of really good spots. Like Momo ended up kicking Mayu in the head, hits a German, and then Mayu just stands up, hits a German, hits a super kick, and then Momo just comes right back and just hits her own German, and they both just get laid out. I absolutely loved it. And then I say this, I am always impressed whenever Mayu does a crucifix bomb. I absolutely love that move, and I think there should be more wrestlers in this world using it because it just, you got to remember there's a risk with that move is that you over rotate and somebody lands on their head. So you got to know how much your opponent needs to know how to rotate, and you need to know how to rotate so you don't hurt somebody. But I always find it such an impressive move to see a crucifix bomb.
Training, practice.
I absolutely love it. But like the end of this match does come down to Mayu Iwatani went to the top rope, and I think it was Ruka, hit her with her Oedo Tai suitcase.
Yes, yeah.
And then
was it her suitcase or was it Momo's chair? She hit her with something. I know it was
the chair
rough.
came after. She hit her with the suitcase.
Right.
And then that's when Momo got the Oedo Tai chair.
Right.
But Mayu then super kicked it into the face of Momo Watanabe, and
Doodles.
right in front of the ref too. But literally, the ref saw her going to swing a chair and getting a kick into her face. And the refs don't throw anything out in Stardom anyways, so they're worse than New Japan refs. Sorry to say, but then and then the best finish I've ever seen in a match. Mayu Iwatani hops up onto the second rope, hops backwards onto Momo Watanabe's shoulders, and Poison Rana's her and gets the win. I was so goddamn impressed with her hopping up and hopping backwards into that Poison Rana. Ah, yes. I absolutely loved it.
And that really goes back to what we've kind of been talking about with Mayu Iwatani. She does really seem to have that kind of almost reckless disregard for her own personal well-being, but she puts on these incredible shows with this incredible entertainment level of it. You know, she's a quality wrestler, whether she's a little bit much or not. She is quality in Stardom.
Oh God, I watched her years ago when she was working with Ring of Honor. I have been impressed with this woman forever, and like I absolutely thought she killed it in this match. And same with Momo Watanabe. Outside of the stuff getting involved from her teammates, I absolutely loved that match. I absolutely loved her in this match. I again, she really picked it up for me at the back end of the tournament of the 5-star tournament when there was a lot less cheating, and I really got to appreciate a lot more of her wrestling. And she did a really great job in this. And I did like how they used Oedo Tai at the end to set up for Mayu to get the win. I thought it was a great spot because you thought, oh, Ruka screwed her and Momo's gonna hit her with the chair and it's over. But the fact that she came back from the case shot to super kick the chair in her face and then hit the Poison Rana was absolutely perfect.
That's Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah. So from here, we are going to move on to the second round of the.
But first, we are going to talk about our amazing sponsor down in the corner there, Rogue Energy Drink. We actually got our first order in, and here's what we are calling the Shirakawa Special. I just call it that because I think the anime character reminds me of Mina Shirakawa. This was $17. It comes with 6 little samples inside there that you can see. You get to pick which flavors you want. I have had the privilege of trying the pina colada, which is very, very sweet, very pineapple-y. I have tried the sour candy one, which literally tastes like you're drinking liquefied Sour Patch Kids. Love it.
Handle that.
The blood orange one tastes like you're actually eating pieces of orange. The blue raspberry one is very interesting. It doesn't remind me of blue raspberry fruit. It reminds me of blue raspberry bubble gum, which is delicious. And then I also got the Rocket Pop one. It tastes like you're eating a Rocket Pop.
I got to pick my stuff up from you too.
So yeah, that one's Andre's. I've already dug into mine.
I just haven't had a chance to stop by your place to get it. So, but yeah, if you want, check the QR code down in the right corner down there. Scan that, and when you get to the website, or use the link that's rolling across the bottom. And if you use the code OLEPODS, you get 10% off your order. Please support them. They support us, and just thank you so much. If you can, anything you can do to help, we really do appreciate it.
And of course, they are vegan. So if anyone has any issues with that, they are vegan.
There you go.
So now let's move into the second round.
There we go. The second round, aka the semifinals. First match is going to be Kairi versus the alpha female Jazzy Gabert. This happened on October 23rd at the first night of the Stardom Tag League, which we will be talking about next week. Hopefully, because stuff doesn't come. Oh, stuff comes out super late with Stardom. So, but yeah, dude, this was like we talked about the dominance Jazzy had with Ava. Oh my God, it looked like she was like two full Kairis plus a little more bigger than Kairi. Like she
Yes. That was literally the first thing I said was the size difference is almost offensive.
It's crazy, but Kairi is though a very small girl. She is very small, but it literally looked like you could put two Kairis into two Kairis wouldn't even make a full Jazzy's, but it almost looked like.
I have to agree.
God,
She was very
so
dominantly
small.
outpowered in that match. Definitely, if they were going
Yeah.
fisticuff to fisticuffs, I don't know that Kairi would have been able to survive
Kairi
that.
would throw like 5 forearms, and Jazzy would just look at her and then smack her once, and Kairi would go down. That was the power difference. And there was a spot where Jazzy was on the floor, and Kairi comes off with a crossbody, and Jazzy just catches her like she was nothing, runs her into the post, and then slams her on the chairs.
Like yeah, was that when she caught her into the suplex part and then slammed her into the pole?
Like she caught her and she had her up on her shoulders for like a power slam, then ran her into the post, and then ran and just like dropped her on like the chairs. The fans said, and the fans moved, and she went and just dropped them on the chairs.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, like there's padding there, but it's still like there's metal. Like that wouldn't have felt good being dropped on those chairs. Like
100%. I actually said that Jazzy kind of came in like a wrecking ball on Kairi on the outside there. Shout out Miley Cyrus.
Okay, I can't do that. I don't want to get.
But then I also said the same thing you did. Kairi feeding forearms to Jazzy and them doing absolutely nothing to her. I definitely felt like Kairi was dominated for a good chunk of this match before she was able to start picking away at Jazzy by putting her down. I think she started taking out her leg initially.
Yeah.
But
she really worked the leg and then was just trying to be as high impact as she could with but there was the one press spot where Jazzy ended up like was fighting back and just grabbed Kairi by the neck, just lifted her and just tree slammed her down.
Foster.
I was like, I love seeing the power, especially with like how big Jazzy is compared to Kairi when she's doing these big power spots to Kairi. It just was satisfying in a sense. Like not that I hate Kairi, I love Kairi.
That's a Melball in a fight, though. I am 5'3". I'm usually the one being lifted and manhandled.
Yeah, but yeah, like just like Kairi ended up getting like 2 running neck breakers and then a spear into the corner. Like just running like full steam, like her whole body with the spear, sending her into the corner, and she like sits in the corner. The Kairi does her march thing, and then does the sliding D with the forearm right into the corner. I was like, yes. I like everything about this was like, yes, Kairi. I love Kairi Sane. I think she is absolutely phenomenal. I've been a fan of her since her time in NXT. Again, I didn't watch before, but I was so happy watching this. Didn't get to see the best stuff with Kairi, but like getting to see how truly impressive that Jazzy Gabert is. Like you can't take anything away from her. And there's one spot where Jazzy literally clotheslines her down and then gets on top and just like starts throwing palm strikes to her face, like to Kairi. So like Kairi's covering up, but she's just like bang, 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 like just palm. Like I loved it that she wasn't like throwing fists, like she was throwing the palm strikes. I was very impressed by like just the palm strikes. I don't know, like you never see people throwing palm strikes other than maybe Kyle O'Reilly, and I was just like, oh, I loved it so much. And then she moved into like a modified Cobra clutch. And like, but Kairi did get out of that. But it was just
she struggled with that one though.
I literally thought it was over there because like she was so far from the ropes when it started. Like she worked over, but I thought it was over. I'm like, there's no way Kairi's getting out of this unless she pulls like a Bret Hart and rolls over to do the pin or something. Unless it was something like that, there was no way she was getting out of it. So like, I really liked it. And then Jazzy after that hit this huge dominator, like the inverted power slam but only got a 2. Like you could audibly hear like the announcers. I don't know what they were saying, but she hit it, and then when she kicked out, they all went on there. I don't know what they were saying, but they all reacted like crazy when Kairi kicked out, because that was a huge comeback from that one. But in the end, Kairi did end up hitting her spinning back fist. And Jazzy had actually taken the corner pad down at one point. So Kairi ended up spearing her into the corner that was exposed, and Jazzy ended up going down. And Kairi came off the top with when I heard the announcer yell insane, when he yelled insane, I was just like, and she comes out
Yeah.
that insane elbow. I loved it. And yeah, she got the insane elbow and got the 3 count and win. I thought like perfect. Like I wanted to see Ava do well. I wanted to see Jazzy do well, but when I saw Kairi was announced for the second round, I'm like, there is no way they're going into the historic crossover show and not have Kairi as one of the 2 people in that title match.
100%. But that's not to take away from Jazzy. I mean, like for her, like for me, being 38, pushing 40, Jazzy's already 40, and she's hitting the pinnacle of her career. Like I feel like she's about to blast off at 40. That is incredible. This is just the tip of the iceberg for her. Just like how you feel about Suzuki. This is just the beginning for Jazzy.
Yeah, and the fact that like, and I know a big part of her getting into Stardom originally, becoming her stepfather is Masahiro Chono.
Oh well, geez.
Yeah, her stepdad is, or I don't know if it's stepdad or adopted dad, but like that's her dad. Like her stepdad or dad.
Wow.
That is like her adopted is that's her
That's
dad.
an NJPW legend.
I remember Chris Charlton mentioning it on the Royal Quest show during her match with Ava. I just remembered it right now. But yeah, but like she's been in this business for a long time. You gotta she's been around a long time. Like I'm pretty sure she was in TNA at one point back in like 06, 07 when she was just known as Alpha Female. Because I remember her because she came in, I think, helping AJ Styles back then. So she's been around this business for like 20, like probably close to 20 years at this point.
Wow.
Like she's been around a long time. She's been around since the mid 2000s. So she's coming up on 20 years if it's not already. So like it's impressive how she's still in the incredible shape she is, and like I and how impressive she still is at 40. Like I am
100%. Like I said, new idol here.
And then Kairi, like you can't take anything from credit. This girl she's an absolute superstar in professional wrestling for one, and no, she's just like I love this match.
She's a very quality wrestler in that she's got that well-roundedness of entertaining ability, but also that unparalleled ability to perform in ring. Combined, she's just unstoppable.
Definitely. So we're going to move on to the other semifinal match, and that is Mayu Iwatani taking on Utami Hayashishita. For all you though, I guess Mel thought it was Mayu Iwatani versus Himeka. I don't know.
I did. For some reason.
Watched this match. I don't know how you thought that finished.
You know what? We're just going to say that it's been a rough week for Melball.
Yeah,
and she got her matches messed up here. But again, you know, my personal favorite female wrestler right now, Utami Hayashishita. This woman can really do no wrong. Right from the get-go of this match, Utami put Mayu in a situation where her back, again, was injured. Mayu's back has been taking a beating also over the 5-star Grand Prix. She had that Falls Count Anywhere match where she took a tumble down, like I'm pretty sure a couple flights of stairs if we actually added them all together. 3 flights of stairs. Like
there was the landing, stairs, stairs.
Yeah, 3 flights of stairs. This woman's a little broken right now. We can understand if she's got a little bit of an ouchie. But Utami really targeting that back, laying in with those forearms, doing everything she can to drop her or hit her on that back. A note that I had out here is that Utami just beat the shit out of Mayu in this match. I do have her going from a rear choke into, I always go to you for the moves. Is it a white noise? And then into that
the air raid crash, yeah.
Yeah. The white noise that Sheamus does.
Yeah.
Where the head is tucked under.
Yeah.
That's called an air raid crash? Okay.
Yeah. She went that's from the technical name. Okada does it. So
okay. So she went from the rear choke into that thing into her German, her stalling German, or the what is it called? I'll just call it a stalling German. That was an incredible sequence for me because it was just boom after boom after boom after boom. She was literally throwing Mayu around like a rag doll.
And then there was another sequence where she went from her Rainmaker forearm. She had a Rainmaker forearm. then the air raid crush, then a sliding D, and Utami, and then Mayu still wouldn't go down. Like you got like it's insanely incredible what like both these women put through. And not to say Mayu Iwatani had some great spots in this match too. Like when they were coming back in from the outside, she ended up doing like a slingshot over and like kneed her in the back of the head. Like like it was awesome. And then she usually hits the mat. She hops up on the second and then hits a double foot stomp off the second rope. She has, and only got a 2 count from that, but it was like oh, like just like right to the back of the head, then right to the gut, and I was just like, oh, that just looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what
like,
I said with Mayu with this one is that she was wrestling super smart, doing everything she could to stay out of Utami's way. She did get nailed a number of times. Like I said, she beat the crap out of her this match, but I definitely felt that this was one of Mayu's smartest matches, in that she wasn't making any unnecessary movements or decisions that she knew wouldn't be beneficial to her at the end.
Yeah.
And
so, do you want to go to the end of the match here? Or do you want to go to the end? I'm going to go to the end of the match here.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? And then Mayu ended up going, she went up for a moonsault. She gets stopped by Utami. Utami goes for the hijack bomb, but she gets like Hurricane Rana out of the hijack bomb. And then Mayu puts Utami in the corner and hits her own hijack bomb. Doesn't do the spinning part. It's just out of the corner, right into the razor's edge.
Yeah.
Moonsault, then a corkscrew moonsault, and gets the win. I'm a little salty on it too.
Yeah, see, salty. Yeah. Best way, sprinkle that salt on there.
Don't get me wrong. Utami did avoid the poison, the hop off the second poison Rana that Mayu tried to go for to finish it, and that's when she ended up getting put up and getting hit with the razor's edge. So she did try to go for her own move, and then she saw the opportunity to hit her opponent's move. So,
Yeah, I mean, we can't say that we haven't seen that before, happen in sports. It's just, it does tend to usually be a dig. So, like, as a fan, I understand. We're both on that salty level. We feel it.
I get salty. I'm like, I don't care to see other people hit other people's signatures, but she didn't hit the spinning version, so I can let it go. But yeah,
we can Elsa it this time.
After the match, Mayu did get the mic, and she called out Kairi. And this is the spot where I think Ross Yogawa brought the title in, and the girls both held on to it and held it up there. And like, Kairi said in her speech, her jaw was dislocated in the Ava White in the Jazzy Gabert match.
No kidding.
Yeah, she said, I wrote that down because like she got hit. Like, I'm not surprised, but she said she was okay. They must have put her back in the place, and she must be okay because she came back out and did the speech. But she didn't talk a lot. Like a
We're just
crazy
gonna say that
that's
probably not the first time it's happened.
Guarantee it. She's got concussions and other stuff. I guarantee she's had a lot of hits.
This is the least concerning problem she's had.
But yeah, the women's final match at historic X-Over, as I like to call it, is Mayu Iwatani taking on Kairi. The winner will become the inaugural champion. Personally, my pick is Kairi. Ever since she was announced for this tournament, I've wanted it to be Kairi. That because I'm just such a big fan of Kairi. But you can see below, the Great Muta is going to be on the show.
Treats galore, because is this the crossover show where we also get to have the intergender tag matches?
Yes, this is going to involve, I think it's Tom Lawler and Suri taking on, I think, Saber and Julia, or is it the other way around? Like, I can't remember who's teaming with who. I can't remember on that.
I think you're right about that. I think you're right about that. Goto is also teaming with another one of my personal favorites, Maika. I don't remember who they're facing. I didn't get past the Maika part.
I'm literally looking that up right now. Give me 2 seconds.
But while Andre's looking that up, we are going to be able to be subjected to a lot of amazing intergender crossover matches happening.
I got it.
Yay!
So yeah, it's Hiroki Goto and Maika taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi and Utami Hayashishita.
Oh.
And yeah, it's Suri and Tom Lawler taking on Julia and Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, and then there's actually another mixed tag of Taichi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Tam Nakano, and Natsupoi taking on Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and get this, El Desperado and the Dookie.
You mean the Doki?
The Dookie, D-O-U.
Oh, we could see stereo Doki Chokies coming out of...
God, no.
That would be amazing. Could you imagine seeing Momo Watanabe and Doki doing Doki Chokies, and then Starlight Kid and Desperado both doing their respective stretch mufflers?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I would enjoy that.
I'm good. But and there also is a Stardom Rambo on the show, which will be a Royal Rumble style match featuring the Stardom women.
That is something you are not going to want to miss. There are so many incredible talents, and that's
so many more
matches.
There's more matches on that show that I ain't able to list, but there's more, and there's probably gonna be more added in the next couple of weeks here. I guarantee it. Like there's only, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 matches announced. New Japan likes to run 8 to 10 match cards, depending.
That's true.
So I could see another match or two being announced for this show. I really could. So
let's hope. Let's hope for some good matches.
Let's hope.
And that being said, I think we're coming to the end of our show here. If you are interested in watching Stardom Wrestling, we'll leave the link in the description box down below. If you want to go to stardom-world.com, it's about 920 yen, which works out to about $10. $10 Canadian, $10. We're doing the perfect 10 here. Shout out to Tom Spears. 920 yen, $10 Canadian, or at least that's what I'm paying. It's certainly worth it. You want to go check that out.
Definitely. And then you can check us out on social media at That Canada Guy on Twitter, at That Canada Dude on Instagram. Mel is at, I think it's at Collins Melball on Twitter, at Melball Collins on Instagram. And then please help. I don't know, you might be watching us on Backbreaker Video right now. Please thank our good friend Mike the Ref from Backbreaker Video. Check that out on YouTube. You can also check him out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. And then we also want to thank our other partner, OLE Pods. It's up there in the right hand corner. They have been phenomenal partners for us. They are giving us so many opportunities to work with them, and all of our streaming going forward, as you will have seen this past weekend, will be on the Our Local Establishment Twitch page. So you can check them out on Twitter, or sorry, on Instagram at OLE Podcast, and you can check them out on Twitch, where you can find me doing streams every now and again. Hopefully Mel will be able to join me for future streams, and it'll be twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment. And then also want to give another shout out to Rogue Energy, where you can scan their QR code in the bottom right corner there. Use OLE Pods for 10% off your order. And
next week, you guys, you want to keep an eye out for our next show that's going to be filming. We're Friday. Filming it next Friday.
No, it's coming out 2 days from now. Coming
out on Friday.
Yes.
We are going to be filming the next episode of NJPW Puresu Review. It's going to entail the TV World TV Championship tournaments in the last 3 shows, Andre?
Yeah, because I did the first 6 matches.
Correct.
And then we have 6 more matches to talk about that are before the finals. So we're going to have 6 more matches, which the last of the opening round, and then the quarterfinals and semifinals.
Correct. And just so you guys know, if you are interested in watching any NJPW, we can also leave a link down in the description box below. It's going to be njpw-world.com. Again, it's 920 yen, but you want to check that site out at the very least, because the World TV title championship matches are actually going to be for free. So what an opportunity to be able to go on to NJPW and take in some free wrestling, get introduced to some wrestlers. You know you're going to like it, especially if it's NJPW.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
And that being said, everyone, I'm your Melball. That is your Andre. Adios.